Hi, this is James. Welcome back to the channel. I'm so glad you could be here. I am the unofficial mayor of Cowboy Country, and I am glad you're here. I have to admit, this is probably the most difficult video I've ever had to do. This is harder than having to talk about losing to Bedlam. This is harder than the losses against Kansas State and KU. This is harder than the loss to TCU. This is even more difficult than the loss to West Virginia. Because I knew, obviously, both teams would have played better if it hadn't been pouring, raining outside. Some people were talking about the transfer portal and be like, oh, a bunch of people are going to leave. I thought, nah, that can't happen. Why would they leave? Spencer's got a COVID year. If he comes back, he has more experience than any OSU quarterback has ever had. I mean, there'll never be a situation again. At least I hope not, where a player could play 6 years. Now, granted, he was hurt a lot. No, yeah, last year. We lost him for a couple games this year too. But to look at this list of players that are going or who are in the transfer portal now, it started with Trace Ford, and we all know that Texas A&M talked to him ahead of time. It's called tampering, and I hope the NCAA does something about it. But then Mason Cobb at linebacker. There's another linebacker, Desadare. And then Preston Hickey at defensive tackle, Rashawn Dixon, wide receiver, Kenyon Williams, safety, Spencer Sanders at quarterback, Braylon Presley at wide receiver. If we're crying out loud, his brothers on the team. Eli Russ at offensive line, Thomas Harper at safety, Dominic Richardson at running back. Dominic Richardson, statistically our best running back, is going to leave the team. I don't know what's going on in Stillwater, but this is the first time I've actually been concerned about whether or not things are stable enough. I don't know what to think. I feel utterly frustrated. I feel I get that the players should have the freedom to leave if they don't want to be in a place. I understand that, but from a fan's perspective, I'm utterly frustrated. And I feel powerless to be able to change anything. That's the frustrating part, is that now that I'm older, I'd like to think a little bit wiser. I don't. I know that I can't control what those players do. The only thing I can do is what I'm going to suggest to you, and that is to donate, and I'll put it right here, pokeswithapurpose.com. This is a way for players to get NIL money legally. I truly believe that Oklahoma State is trying their absolute best to follow the rules. But I feel like I've been kicked in the nuts. That's how I feel right now. I feel like I've been betrayed. when you become a part of Oklahoma State's family, and then you just decide to up and leave, there's a problem. Now, like I said, the one thing that we can do is we can give to this program so that the players that are staying will have NIL money. They can do volunteer work, or they can be a spokesperson for something. The idea being that, like, let's just say Joe Blow, or you know, he makes an ad to draw attention to a certain nonprofit organization. Well, he'll get paid for his name and image being used in that ad to draw attention to helping out that nonprofit. Perfectly legal. I do not believe in paying players. I don't think that the whole NIL thing for Bijan Robinson, for example, at Texas, him getting a Lamborghini, I don't think that's okay. A 19-year-old, a 20-year-old should not be driving a Lamborghini. There's just something about, we know that you have natural gifts and talents, but there's just something not right about that. There's a feeling that you need to work hard and earn your way to the top. But here's the thing. Here's the bottom line. We have an opportunity in little over 3 weeks. I think it's 4 weeks. To play one of the best teams in the Big Ten in Wisconsin. Now, they also lost a quarterback to the transfer portal. They, too, have some serious issues. But they're not going to... they're not going to feel sorry for Oklahoma State because we lost players in the transfer portal. They're going to show up with one goal, and that's to win. And if Oklahoma State wants to put this whole notion that somehow the SEC and the Big Ten are up here and everybody else is down here, we need to win that football game. In fact, this is the time of the year where we need to cheer on the rest of the Big 12. We want Texas Tech to beat the snot out of Ole Miss. We want Texas to win the Alamo Bowl. We want Oklahoma to go into Orlando and beat Florida State. Sorry, Musket, your West Virginia was finished 5-7, but they've got a good future with Green at quarterback. I do like that guy. We got to root for TCU to beat Michigan. Heck, I even think that we should be rooting for BYU to win their bowl game, and Cincinnati, and Kansas State to beat the mighty Crimson Tide. If you're tired of hearing all the stuff about how great the SEC is, we need the Wildcats to win that game. Don't forget, Baylor's got a bowl game as well. And then here's Pistol Pete. We've got to beat Wisconsin. If we're going to make a statement, we as in the Big 12, then we need to win bowl games and show the rest of the country that this conference is a great conference for college football. I believe that our games are more exciting. I believe that our games are competitive. I believe that top to bottom, from TCU, Kansas State, Texas, all the way to Iowa State and West Virginia, who didn't make a bowl, that those football teams from top to bottom are really, really good. I guess that kind of, now that I stop and think about it, I don't necessarily feel so bad about the fact that we finished 7-5. Because, yeah, the SEC has Clemson and not Clemson. Excuse me, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, LSU. But from there down, none of those teams scare me. But you look at the Big 12. I think top to bottom, even the two that aren't represented, Iowa State and Kansas, we got a good brand of football. And I'm proud to be a part of the Big 12, and I'm proud to be an Oklahoma State alum. And for all of you who entered the transfer portal, you may want the freedom to go wherever you want to go. But here's the thing. If you didn't finish with your degree, you don't get to wear this. You're not an alum. When you're older, because the vast majority of people that play college football do not go to the pros. I think only like 20 to 25% actually. I'm tired. It's late. I think only 20 to 25% of the people actually make it to the pros. The rest of you better get a degree so that you can get a decent paying job, so you can keep up this lavish lifestyle that apparently you've developed with NIL money. Yeah, I'm disappointed. But you know what? Somehow, some way, well, let me put it to you this way. Somehow, some way, Mike Gundy better had get this thing going in the right direction. You know, even Pat Jones had to eventually step aside. But granted, we went 7-5. It's not like we had a losing season. We've gone to bowl games 17 years in a row. But I truly think Mike Gundy needs to make some changes, do something, because this isn't cutting it. Who knows if he can keep Zane Hodges as a recruit and Nebraska doesn't steal him from us, we might have a bright future. Who knows? I think we do. I'm just concerned. I have genuine concerns about the future. And I want to see a strong performance from Oklahoma State to show that we have something to build on for 2023. So, anyway, if you are new to the channel, please hit like and subscribe. I honestly don't know what I'm going to do the rest of the week. I definitely know this is Monday night. I'm making this video for Tuesday. I think what I'll do, there'll be no video on Wednesday. Thursday, I will actually sit down and do my picks for I'll do my picks for all the bowl games. I'll do all the bowl games. Now, I am going next month to Orlando to see my mom for her birthday. God willing, I will do a video of at least one stadium, and that'll be the bounce. I've got to get the bounce house for sure. But a couple days in Florida, if I can get there early, I may take that Wednesday on the 11th and do a couple of videos. It'd be cool to get at least the swamp, possibly go up and do Florida State, maybe. And I've got to get the bounce house, Florida State, and the swamp. At least those three. Maybe I can talk my dad into going down to Miami with me, because that would be pretty cool. So, anyway, from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great week. And hey, as always, whether they finish 1-11 or 11-1, we are Oklahoma State Cowboys, and we say, go Pokes. You have a good night.